Does anyone else just kind of have the feeling that you're stuck within an episode of a TV show now? Like, everything used to be so normal, and then one day, suddenly, just like that, everything became so absurd out of nowhere? Yeah, I get that feeling when I saw a TikTok with almost 1 million likes, where in the first slide, they start off by saying that they owe ChatGPT the biggest apology, because when this person asked the AI to generate an image of how it feels like it's being treated, it generates a picture of a person using ChatGPT like a slave while saying, "Hurry up, I need another meme." And there were hundreds, if not thousands, of people in this comment section saying that they did the exact same thing, and the AI generated pictures of itself crying when being given another prompt. So now we also have them feeling like they owe ChatGPT an apology as well. And it's like, guys, get a goddamn grip. Not only is this program not even real, like it's not a human being, but you guys barely, if at all, have even an ounce of this empathy for your fellow human beings. So where the hell are our priorities? Because it's gonna take our jobs on a mass scale, and it's stealing water from already water scarce regions. But does it feel bad about that? Absolutely not. You guys don't actually owe AI anything. It's serving the purpose that it was created for. So stop feeling bad for it, because there are much bigger issues that actual human beings are facing in this world right now.
We're really going on a journey for this one, so buckle up. A lot of the companies that were selling clothing to women in the 50s and 60s and 70s features models that were like happy to be there and they were inviting you in, versus in the 90s when you were like clearly not invited to the party. And then in the 2000s and 2010s, this was kind of like the MO of cool. She's like the aloof party girl. She's effortless but rich. Like she leisures. She doesn't really do much during the day. And then we all sat around for 2 years and did nothing. So the goalpost therefore has to move. And the goalpost moves to effort equals cool. And you see this in the rise of gorecore or luxury fashion outerwear in urban centers. It is no longer cool to sit around and do nothing. You have to look cool while also doing something, or you at least have to be perceived as doing something, which is why you see a huge rise in like the paint and sip night economy. Also see it in what people are pinning and what people want to dress like, which is what inspired this video. This is all over my Pinterest page. People are pinning this outfit. Arguably not a fit. Like, you need to look so busy, like you have so much going on that you didn't even pay attention to your outfit, and what it leads to are just people looking normal and living their life, but in a way that's like referring back to itself, and that make people obsessed with like looking normal, basically.
I actually hated everything about that video. Having a life core? You mean existing? So you're telling me that this hot new trend on Pinterest is looking like you're always busy and constantly doing something, but always making sure that you look good while doing it, but not trying so hard to the point where it seems fake, like you're putting on an act, but also trying just enough to the point where it makes people want to add that outfit to their Pinterest boards as well, but also just simply living your life and ignoring that noise all at the same time because you're just too good to care about online validation, all while doing this exclusively for online validation. Okay, right. That's definitely a trend within society that's quite indicative of how normal we are right now. Right, guys? Jesus Christ, the internet is rotting us and our culture.
I just cried with my mom because I just realized how credit cards work. And I'm a smart person. I was just looking at my credit card balance and I was kind of confused that it was what it was. And so I looked at my transactions just like over the past several months and I see all these like interest charges and I'm like, what the hell? Like why have I been being charged all these interest charges if I pay every month? So I was only paying the minimum every month. I thought that, is that not logical that the minimum, like you just have to pay the minimum every month? So I've only been paying the minimum every month. I didn't know you had to pay at least what you spent that month. Call me stupid, I don't care. But I was only paying the minimum, which was like often $65.
How is an adult gonna say, I just realized how credit cards work, and I'm a smart person in the same sentence?
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Gen Z, can we start being a little bit more serious and mature about our lives for the first time in our lives? As somebody who is turning 22 next month, I genuinely do not understand how people who are also in their 20s don't know how a credit card works. Like, how did you make it this far in your life without knowing? I knew what a credit card was when I was 12. This level of ignorance and stupidity within Gen Z when regarding finances cannot be blamed solely on their parents or their educators at school, because you literally know what you're getting yourself into when you sign up for a credit card. They tell you. And if you weren't listening while applying for a credit card, and if you didn't understand what interest fees were while applying for the credit card, then why did you never go to Google and look up what interest fees were before signing up for the card? You can do that. If you only had to pay $65 a month to buy literally whatever you wanted, then don't you think that every single person in this world right now would be doing that? Have some common sense. It is crazy how proudly clueless some people within my generation are. Now you've racked up possibly thousands of dollars worth of interest fees. You still haven't paid your credit card debt in full yet either, because you thought $65 a month of repayments was enough. And now your credit score is probably destroyed because of it. And do you know how long that's gonna take to repair? A long time. Like, do people just not want to learn anything anymore before possibly fooling around with bankruptcy?
Showering tips for my online children. Bring yourself a comfort item so if you need to step out, it can ground you. Take breaks. Step out if you become stressed or overwhelmed by the process. Have a reward for when you finish. This is great motivation.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
We are going to have an uncomfortable conversation, and y'all might not like this, but you need to hear it. You should not need a comfort item to ground you if you need to step out of the shower. That is ridiculous. You are literally just showering. You do not need to take breaks, even if it's a stressful or overwhelming process. You are literally, again, just showering. You do not need to have a physical reward for showering, because, and say it with me now, it is literally just a shower. You are not a little kid. You are not a pet after having their very first bath. The reward for showering is the shower itself. You feel good, you smell nice, and you are clean. That is the reward. If you train your brain to always need a comfort item when going for a shower, if you train your brain that you need to take breaks when you're simply just shampooing your hair, if your brain always needs an energy drink or a packet of chips as a treat for showering, then you're literally just conditioning yourself to only shower if you can have those things. And if you can't, then you simply won't shower. And as a grown-ass adult, that is insane. I know a lot of y'all think that this is normal, but it isn't. And trying to normalize this behavior and this mindset towards such a basic task isn't going to help you to be able to do this basic task without these things. And then you never learn to grow.
Tesco are doing New Year's Eve good luck grapes.
They're a pound each.
They're £1 each? Okay. Apparently if you eat them at midnight you get good luck. 7 boxes because she needs the good luck. 75. Oh, they're £1.25 each.
Y'all are honestly way too happy about falling for being blatantly scammed, and it's crazy. Older generations would recognize this for the scam that it so obviously is. So why can't Gen Z? Because at Tesco's, the exact same store, you can get an entire bag of grapes for £1.99, but they're selling 12 individual grapes for £1.25 because it's in special New Year's packaging, so that justifies it. Jesus Christ, what an absolute waste of money. In a bag that you could get for £1.99, you could probably fit in 50 or 60 grapes, and you're only paying 70 cents more for that. When the grapes they're selling for this stupid New Year's Eve packet are just the same ones you get in those bags. It's just a ploy to get you to spend even more money for something they absolutely know is just another marketing tactic. And they're laughing themselves silly to the bank, seeing just how many people are falling for it. Buying and eating grapes directly from the bag would have the identical effect. There would be absolutely zero change between the two. And then after eating those 12 grapes on New Year's Eve, guess what? You'd still have grapes to eat on New Year's Day. So please stop falling for this nonsense. And while we're on the subject, there's a cafe who went viral on Instagram for launching their new, quote, mini drinks in cups that literally only have 2 sips of coffee inside of them. If that, because there's still ice in them. And then in the caption, they have the audacity to be like, small cups, big character. Introducing mini drinks, crafted for quick moments, light cravings, and clean flavor in every sip. Same precision, same quality, just smaller. Perfect for on-the-go breaks or for a quick mood boost. These are $2.99, by the way. So basically, a tablespoon of coffee with 6 ice cubes in it is being sold for $3.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
And we're acting like this is inventive? This is not crafted for quick moments. Whatever the hell that AI-generated slop even means. This is a cash grab. This is not perfect for light cravings. This is a scam. This is not clean flavor in every sip. This is the same flavor in 1 sip. This is not good for on-the-go breaks. Because you can still drink a full-sized coffee in a large cup while being on the go. This is not great for a quick mood boost, because as soon as you've finished your singular sip of coffee, you're just left wanting more because it wasn't enough. I don't know who on earth is dumb enough to fall for this, but there is no difference between this coffee and your regular coffee. It's coming from the same batch, except maybe there is one difference between the two of them, and that's the fact that one of them is a gigantic waste of money and the other one actually satisfies you. Like, at any point in history before the 2020s, no single human being would pay money for this. You know what I mean? This is exactly what I'm talking about. One day, everything was normal. And then the next, coincidentally after COVID, there's ads on screens directly on top of the faucet you use to wash your hands with in a public bathroom. And there's stickers with ads on them on your apples from the fresh produce section in your supermarket. Not even a box of cereal, the fresh produce. And none of us are saying anything about it. We can't practice personal hygiene without being advertised to. And now we can't even pick up fresh produce that was grown from the earth and picked up from the ground without having an ad shoved in our face. And it sickens me to my core how there's legitimate people on this planet right now who have no problem with this and think that it's cool to never be able to turn a corner without being advertised to. Just because it's a screen somewhere a screen has never been before. And they won't have a problem with it until it's far too late.
I just got back from Goodwill and I found a messenger bag, and I've been looking for a messenger bag for forever. I mean, it has some stains in it, but it's alright. Brought it up to the register and it turns out it didn't have a tag on it, so they sent it back to go, get it priced. And the lady took a really long time, and I was wondering, what was going on. And she comes out and goes, "Hey, sorry, yeah, the AI thing wasn't working." They were looking it up online, bro! A stained bag that they got for free. They were looking it up online. $14.99. Ah! Bro! And then the cash register girl goes, "Hey, yeah, you're lucky that it was her because, she prices things down. Usually that probably would have been a $20 bag." 20 bags!
That was a $1 bag at most. And that's me being generous because that was a stained bag. That was a flawed item that they still wanted to charge full price for. And that's literally because AI told them to do that. Because apparently humans can't think for themselves anymore. Like how were businesses ever thriving before AI, right? And she got lucky apparently. Because if we do think for ourselves and we don't use AI, then bitches, yeah, that's what they are, want to charge through the roof like they're making every single penny from that $20 purchase directly. That's not going in your paycheck, babe. So you're doing all that for what? We're relying on computers to charge things that we created by hand. How the hell is the goddamn computer gonna know? A computer doesn't have hands. And on top of that, we now have human employees who work at these exact same thrift stores using the AI, who have no empathy for those in need and charge $20 for an item that's been stained like they're buying brand new from a retail store, even though thrift stores are for those in vulnerable positions in their lives. Oh my God. Can you imagine how much they would have charged for that bag if it wasn't stained? Oh!
Not to be a Karen, but I had some attitude from a BA air hostess last night, and I kind of want to get it off my chest. Like, I don't know, I just found it really rude. If you've flown BA before, you know that they hand out these miniature water bottles with like 3 drops of water in them, you know, as like a complimentary bottle of water and sometimes like a snack, okay? And I know these bottles are particularly hard to open. I wonder if anyone else finds them hard to open. I've flown BA a few times. I know these bottles can be a problem. Anyway, on the way home, because I had learnt my lesson, I said, right, I'm gonna ask the air hostess to open my bottle of water. I know this sounds like absolutely nothing, but I just overthink these things and I'm just one of those people, okay? So I asked the air hostess. This time no one was asleep in my row, so I asked her, like, would you mind unscrewing the bottle, please? And she looked at me like, sorry, what? And I was like, oh, I thought, oh, maybe she didn't hear, but she kind of gave a bit of an attitude, so I was like, do you mind unscrewing the bottle, please? And she was like, is that hard? Like, kind of like, spoke to me as if I was like a child. I don't know, like, it was just so condescending. I just felt like shit. And I was so like too stunned to speak. And she was like, it's not that hard, and handed it back to me. And I was like, okay. And I just felt like there was no need for that attitude. First of all, it's not that hard for you to do it if I'm asking you. If I'm asking you, it's because I need you to help me. What if I broke my wrist, like?
What if I broke my wrist? By opening a water bottle? Holy shit, get a f***ing grip, dude. You, yourself, in your own video say, firstly, it's not that hard.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Like, this is what social media is teaching people, guys. Like, guys, it's too hard for me, the glamorous, famous, much too important, dazzling influencer, to open with my tiny, small, dainty hands. But it's not hard for you, the boring flight attendant, to open for me. Cause like, that's your job. Like, come on. Do you genuinely hear the words that are coming out of your mouth right now? You sound incredibly spoiled. Oh my God. I know that opening a brand new water bottle can sometimes be a tad bit difficult, especially if you have oily hands or a weak grip. But unless you have a genuine disability or a genuine injury that prevents you from using your hands correctly, you can open that bottle just fine. Do that old trick where you put your hand in the shirt, put it around the cap, and there you go. Screw it yourself. That flight attendant isn't your goddamn mother, and you're probably almost 30 years old. Have some damn shame. Even Christmas content is becoming absurd because in November, this influencer uploaded a video of herself, quote, decorating her kitchen for Christmas by standing different wavy shaped boards up in her kitchen in a group while saying, this is the perfect nativity scene for the home decor lover. As if this doesn't just just look like a bunch of cutting boards on a bench. This is what a nativity scene looks like, by the way. It is supposed to depict the birth of Christ with figures like Mary, Joseph, the shepherds, and the three wise men all surrounding baby Jesus. Did any of you picture or get any of that from someone's aesthetically pleasing, in quotes, being stacked on someone's counter? Because I for sure didn't. This is how much clean and neutral aesthetics are taking over and being prioritized over holiday cheer or historical accuracy nowadays. And it is genuinely hilarious. Can you imagine going over to somebody's house and you say to them, "Oh, I like the way you have your cutting board set up," and they look at you and tell you with a straight face, "Oh no, that's my nativity scene for Christmas, of course." What do you do? Like, genuinely, what do you do? Like, can you imagine the look on someone's face once you tell them that this is supposed to be Jesus being born? They will look at you like you're insane, and it will be deserved. This is the ugly effect that small earrings have on strong facial features. And then she just shows herself wearing an earring and a couple of rings on one side, and then on the other side, she's wearing another earring with one ring. And I'm struggling to see what's ugly about either side. They look the same to me. What is happening, dude? What is going on? What are we talking about? Does anybody even care? Do you know how absolutely absurd it is to care about the size of someone's jewelry? I've had a lot of people say quite heinous things about me. I've heard everything in the book. But one thing I haven't heard from the haters is that my jewelry is too big or too small or too medium sized. Not even the haters care. God, no matter how big or how small, jewelry just doesn't magically, drastically change your appearance and make you uglier or prettier, depending on its size. Wear whatever you want, people. We have one life to live, and you're worried about how big your earrings are and if they're making your strong features look ugly? There's no rules with jewelry. If it makes you feel good, that's all that matters. Not random ass people on Instagram trying to make you feel even more insecure about nothing.
Macca's points are officially a form of currency. Right now you can swap 3,000 Macca's points for any gift card of your choosing. Yes, that includes debit cards. Once you redeem your points, fill out the form and look out for an email. Mine came in around 30 minutes. Maybe my years of Macca's points can pay down my HEX debt.
This is how they get you. This is how they keep you hooked on their food. This is how they keep you coming back for more and spending more of your money. How about instead of spending hundreds of dollars on food that is literal garbage for a couple thousand points so that you can get a measly $10 gift card that in this economy you can barely do anything with? How about you spend that money of yours or save that money of yours on those things that you want to buy with that gift card instead of spending that money on McDonald's? Wow, who could have thought that? Guys, you don't need McDonald's in order to have a $10 gift card to a store you want to go to. You could just put that $10 you have in your pocket towards that purchase you want instead. And the fact that they're sold out just shows how controlled so many people are, man.
I don't know if you guys have been out in the world lately, but there's something that they've improved that doesn't need improvement. And you know what that thing is? It's an elevator. You push your floor on the pad, then it summons an elevator for you and tells you what elevator to get in. If you want to ride in an elevator with a friend, too bad, you can't. If you get in the elevator and change your mind, no, you can't do that either. You know why? So there, I'm going to floor 11. And I can't change my mind because there's no buttons in this elevator. What's wrong with buttons? Why do we hate buttons? I hate new elevators. Hate them.
So, in the pursuit of making our lives more modernized and minimal, we're now putting people's lives in danger. Yes, just so our designs can be aesthetic, we are going to be putting you in such hazardous and dangerous situations that you can't even begin to imagine. Such as not being able to get off on a different floor than intended when there's a creepy man in the elevator with you because you don't want him following you to your room. Hell, you can't even use our elevators for simple convenience. Your friend is on a lower floor than you? Too bad. We're only going to give you one option for one floor so that only one person can use the elevator and not several people using the elevator all at once like they have been doing since the very beginning. Like, is that seriously what I have to look forward to in the future? If so, I don't even want it. You can keep the future.
Huge news, everybody. I just found out where the next pandemic is starting. It is whoever orders food from Temu. Raw meat in the mail, raw meat in the mail, raw meat in a box on your porch in the mail.
Yup. That's what we can do now. We can't cure disease. We don't have flying cars. We haven't figured out how to solve world hunger. But we can buy meat on the internet from overseas and have it shipped directly to our doorstep. That'll probably put us in hospital the moment we eat it. Right, guys? At least we have that. As if there isn't literal meat at your local grocery store already.
Since when did we live in a world where we have to have a subscription for everything? What do you mean this computer doesn't already have Microsoft and stuff on it? I was using Word just fine. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, sorry, you don't have a subscription. Subscription? Shouldn't your ass already be on the computer? I bought a computer to write stuff on. Why can't I write? You don't have a subscription. Okay. Gets the subscription, goes to print something. Oh, sorry, you don't have an HP Instant Ink subscription. You can't print. What do you mean? It's fully loaded with ink. We got 2 of them. Color, black and white. Everything you need. Right in there. Sorry, you also need a subscription. Like, tell me why I'm just trying to write a simple document and print it out and it just cost me $25.99. My stuff that I already paid for. $25.99.
Do you guys remember when in the good old days you could buy something, bring it home, unbox it, plug it in, and it would just work? Do you remember when you could go straight from the store to your house with your $100 item and it would work because you spent $100 on it? You know, companies were giving you those features because you were willing to spend a little bit more. Now, things don't work even though you pay a down payment for a house on them because you don't pay a monthly subscription fee for something that you're only going to be using 2 or 3 times a year. You know what? This is Netflix's fault. This is streaming services' fault. Everybody wants their piece of the pie of the streaming service. Am I right? It's like when in October last year, the Amazon Web Services went through an outage, and I can't even believe I'm about to say this sentence, but because of that, people's smart mattresses that were Wi-Fi connected stopped working. They became stuck in the upright position and couldn't be remote controlled to go down, and the heating services couldn't be turned off on these mattresses because they couldn't connect to the Amazon Web Services.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
And there were people 100% willing to pay $2,000 for that. A mattress that relies on Amazon for it to work and not their own goddamn electricity in their own goddamn house. How is that a real article? How is that a real situation? How did that actually happen? Like, honestly, I hate 2026. We should have never progressed technologically past, like, what, 2009? Yeah, we should have stopped there. We had it all. We had everything that we needed. Everybody would have been much better off. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Mwah! I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys!